That was wonderful. Extremely smooth.
So this is our west stage. We just did a lot of work out here. We put a nice big curve on it. I got Jesse here. He's here for a couple of days. He's
Marine Raider.
Marine Raider. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Honored to have you, mate. Thank you for your service too. So anyway, so we're going to do some more work with you later on, some trucks and some cars.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to time you in a truck. We're going to time you in a car. We're not going to show you where you're going. We're not going to give you much instruction. We're going to figure out what your times are, and then we'll do a day or so, and then we'll put you back in those vehicles and see how much your time's improved.
Yeah.
So be a good learning curve. We don't say too much the first day. If you make the mistakes, I love them, because for the mistakes, you're going to tell me
right
what, or I'm going to tell you what you need to do, and you probably know you've made a mistake.
Right.
Anyway, so we go back to this. Later on, as the day goes on, I am going to have you out here. Like I said, we just did a run here to figure out how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to talk about things for you guys may be important when you go to different places. If you look down, if you come over here, look down, you see where the road sort of finishes.
Yes.
But if you look above, you can see the tree line.
Yeah.
So you're looking for the gap in the trees. We do this out here primarily like night time with nods on, and we go pretty quick. We're not slow. We do it in cars and trucks. And so one of the big things I sort of believe in is that if it's for me in a rally car and I got lights everywhere, I'm not just looking at the road, I'm looking up there, I'm looking in the top of the trees. Mm-hmm. The lights will be set up that way on a rally car. With you guys with nods on, you have the advantage that you can see it all.
Right.
Because there's no lights just showing you you can actually see everything. So out here, for me, if you got nods on, it's a really clear picture. And you did ask me earlier, what's the disadvantages? And I'm telling you, probably not much.
No limitations with depth of field, tunnel vision, or...
From what I can tell, when we've done it out here, not too much. Now, they're first generations where they're green and they're grainy looking.
Right.
But the new ones with the phosphorus in them and the heat sinking and that stuff
yeah.
is and it's a different color.
Yeah.
It gives you an ultra look down here. And if you can imagine this may be urban. If you imagine that's buildings, and if it's an old country, somewhere in Europe, you're going to find that the buildings follow the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see like ladies' knickers hanging out and verandas and chimney pots and windows. So you can actually use that too as to guide you through the urban areas.
Right.
Okay. America's a bit square, but where I'm from in Europe, or go further into Germany and Russia and places like that, they tend to have the buildings are following the old road from the old days. So that's really useful information.
It's like another sight line.
Yeah, it's a site, and I call it a site plan.
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing with the nods that you guys use, if they are phosphorus, the black marks you get in the ground on the older ones that used to look like it was water and you couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
But the new ones, you sometimes get reflection, so you know it's not water, it's just a hole.
Okay.
It's got a reflection in it, it's water. So you can understand, you can see the difference. And I know we've used them out here before, mm-hmm. and for me that's a really big thing. Am I going into a braking zone, or am I going to go a big pile of water?
Right.
If there's some sort of shadow from a tree or a building, I can see it.
Yeah.
So that gives me even more of an advantage over someone else, because I kind of know what I'm driving on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And the other thing that happens too, if you get a road that's got bumps on it, if you've got lights on a car, they get shadows from the bumps, mm-hmm. from beyond the bumps. But with night vision, you get the same look. You can actually see the dips in the road, so you know it's going to be a bumpy road when you get in it.
Okay.
And for you guys, that's probably useful information.
Extremely useful.
Like washboard.
Right.
You can see how much the washboard's apart. Get to a country where roads are not so good, the washboard's got worse, the wind does that, the car shock absorbers make it worse. They get those little ripples. You can tell if it's been a big vehicle through there, because the ripples tend to be a lot longer. Lighter vehicles, you get more of them, but night vision will pick all that up as well.
Yeah. And in your opinion, what do you think is the benefit of learning rally style driving for military people? Okay,
so I want to go back to, it's a shame it's called rally, mm-hmm. because really it's just ultimate car control. And when you're driving on dirt, especially with trucks loaded like Hiluxes and things like that, you got a lot of equipment in the back, you got people in it, and even with a car, doesn't matter if it's front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, the car or the vehicle's always steering from the rear. You're not steering much from the front.
Right.
So when you get on dirt, you get that rear steer. And what happens is a lot of people only drive on pavement. So when you're making a steer on pavement, you've got lots of grip, the car's going to stick.
Right.
As soon as you get onto a surface change, all that goes away. You steer too much, if anyone's driven on ice and snow, you steer too much into a corner, it's going to go straight on.
Right.
So what do? Kind of lift off, steer less, maybe let the back come around a little bit. And we teach that ability to do that at really high speed from one surface to the other.
Right. The multi-surface.
Multi-surface
Right.
at high speed.
Yeah.
I mean, something you guys may or may not get into, but if you have to chase someone or being chased, same with the police, you know, especially the police that live around here in Florida, lots of dirt roads here.
Yeah.
They're on the pavement, they're off into a road like this.
Yeah.
They've got to chase someone.
Yeah.
You need to know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everywhere we've been, it's never been a consistent
Right.
hard surface, multi-surface transitions. Yeah.
So that's exactly why we like to teach that.
Yeah.
And our school, we're not very menu orientated. We will get a team in, we'll do statement of work is what you think you need, and we'll kind of work you through that, and you're going to tell us. And then halfway through the week, I might say, well, make some suggestions. Your team's a little weak here, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do that. And we'll also take individuals out of the team and just plug into something to get them to do that one element. Maybe getting the car loose, it may be a pendulum turn, it may be just not looking ahead enough, it may be something like not gear changing properly. And so we'll take an individual out, we'll put them with another instructor, get you back up to speed.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking for is the team. You may have a guy that's driven on ice and snow, or he's lived on a farm.
Yeah.
This guy's got his stuff together already, he probably doesn't know it. And you get the guy who's city slicker, who's got into your team, he's never really done anything on roads, or never probably driven a truck or anything that's got a gear shift.
Or a manual transmission.
A manual
right.
transmission.
Right.
And I want him to be close to him. So at the end of the week, our job here is to get these guys down here to that guy up top. Now this guy's going to improve a little bit, so he sort of sometimes get upset because he's already got the skill set.
Yeah.
And we see that a lot. But the guys that haven't done much, have not done much in the past, we want to pump them right back up. And we do that by timing you. So we're timing you on a Monday first thing, then we're timing you on a Wednesday when you're all worn out and we've been barking in your head all week long.
Yep.
And then we time you on a Friday when you're really fresh first thing in the morning. And we generally see between, I mean, a good number's 50 seconds difference.
That's pretty good.
On the road course,
Yeah.
and the road course and the dirt that we lay out. And we lay out the same for every single team we do here.
Awesome.
So we're not like very strict, like you've got to do this, this and this, and if you can't do it, we're leaving you behind. We want you to go out of this place with all the information and the feel and the look of everything that you're going to be probably getting into.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's important that happens.
Yeah. There's benefit in that, and having structure, but still being able to adapt to
Right.
the people, the individual.
So yeah, the structure is a baseline. We do need you to catch all these things along the way. And to be honest with you, the first 3 days, I don't mind if you mess stuff up. I like mistakes. I'm not even too worried if you damage cars a bit, because that's kind of a learning curve.
Right.
But after Wednesday, or Wednesday afternoon, okay, now we go into, now I need you to do preservation of equipment.
Right.
So from Wednesday afternoon, Thursday and Friday, now it's all about, you've done all the silly stuff, you got it all out of your system, you've learned a whole bunch of stuff, and then we try and get you to so it's very nice and tight.
Yeah.
I'll even do a thing where I call it hare and hound, where on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I'll send 3 guys out in a truck and 3 guys out in a car and just have you drive
Chase.
and chase each other.
Yeah.
Without getting the thing what we call red mist, where you just zone in and his guy's going off and he's looking in the mirror and you're going off with him. We want you to be able to look around, and again we go back to looking at stuff like this. He may be bombing down this road and he's looking in the mirror and he's missing the turn, and you're looking at him and you crash into him.
Right.
But if you know he's making a mistake back here and you're watching him, you can avoid it or you can catch him.
Correct yourself.
Correct yourself.
Yeah.
So don't just zone in on that target until it becomes a big problem.
Yeah.
And they may be shooting at you or something, but still, we don't want you just zoning in on him. And you see it with police chases all the time. You see it on TV.
Right.
Policemen get really mad. Sorry, policemen, but this is what does happen. Is that you kind of zone in on that guy you're trying to catch and nothing else matters, but everything matters around you. Everything that's going on around you matters. You know, maybe someone walking out in the street, maybe a dog running across the road. Something's going to happen, and you need to be aware that's going to be an issue.
Right. So developing that skill where you're concentrating on your driving, but you still have full
wide vision.
situational awareness. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because that's the
Which
thing.
is a
that-
developing skill. Like it's something I've learned that you have to hone it, and
Yeah.
practice it. Yeah.
It's not something you can just go, oh, I can do that.
Right.
That's not what us humans have, this psychological thing where we zone in.
Zone in and hyper focus on one
Right.
thing, right?
And
Yeah.
for us, you doing that here, and it's the same. We have a road course here, and we do it on a road course too, and we get it even with just regular customers that come and do a road course. They kind of home in on that corner, and they drive into it too early, and there's nowhere to go coming back out again.
Yeah.
So you try to make them look at something twice if you can. Look for where you're going to go, look where you're going to be crashing, look back where you're going to go again. It's moved over here somewhere, but we're trying to get you to be free thinking and looking.
Right.
If you don't do that, then you're going to crash your car.
Yeah. So here you allow them to solve their own problems.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Without injecting too much instruction, if you will.
No. So basically, and us humans are really good at this. We'll make a mistake, and once we know what it feels like, we inherently go, oh, something comes out your mouth.
Yeah.
That you knew that wasn't quite right. Now we may have to tell you why it wasn't right, but you do know it's an instinct thing that happens once you've done a few of these, runs through stuff like this. Like, yeah, it felt good, or oh no, that didn't feel good. And it's something that you did a little bit wrong in a car, maybe just tweak the wheel or brake too much, or something happened to throw the car in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Or you got it right. And so you'll still have something coming out of your mouth. And as an instructor sitting with you, it's like, yeah, okay, this guy's got it. Yep, you knew that was wrong.
Yeah.
You knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Well, you have to hone those skills, but we want you to be in those situations.
Yeah.
It's no good me telling you, don't do that. I want you to do it.
Yeah.
I want you to experience that.
Yeah.
That's how I got here. I mean, I'm 60 years old. I've done all the stupid things. I've made lots of mistakes along the way. That's how I learned. Yeah. We're trying to here at the school is develop what we know and give it to you guys.
Right. That critical thinking while you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Yeah, it's very important. And something that I haven't had in any other driving course that we've been to, except for here, is that, yeah, there's a baseline structure, but you push that you need to be free thinking and creative while you're doing this. Yeah.
And we do like to push you.
Oh, yeah.
That's at the end of the day, we want you to go out with a bag full of knowledge in your head. Basics back here, so remember, like shooting a gun. You guys shoot guns all the time. Do you even think about it anymore?
Not really.
Yeah, it's
like
just back happens. Right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to hone that skill in, and a 3,000 or 4,000 pound vehicle hurtling down the road at 70 miles an hour. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Absolutely.
So the feel, the look, the touch of the car, all that of the vehicles, like we want you to get that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Bryn. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
everything.
I'll go do some more.
Absolutely.
All right. Good deal.